Tallahassee. How many PhDs do you know who have biceps that appear to have a thyroid condition and a back broad enough to have Goodyear printed on it? Florida State University has such a person in Ellington Darden. The transplanted Texan not only has his PhD in physical education and is working on another in nutrition, he is also collegiate Mr. America. Darden won the title recently in Fort Worth, Texas, topping contestants from 48 universities. Altogether, he has won more than 100 trophies for weightlifting and bodybuilding. A $30 set of weights transformed the 125-pound high school sophomore from Conroe, Texas, into a 205-pound all-district quarterback and linebacker by his senior year. At Baylor University, Waco, Texas, where he earned his Bachelor and Master of Science degrees, Darden turned from football to concentrate on weightlifting and bodybuilding. I simply felt that football didn't offer me the kind of potential I wanted, said the reigning Mr. Florida. I realized that if I was going to make something of myself, it would have to be on a personal basis. But still something was missing. That something turned out to be theology. Theology provided something that he could really get into. He found values and began thinking of himself in terms of a whole man. He and some friends developed an interest in evangelism and follow-up the pattern of traveling evangelism, more popular by Billy Graham. However, after he finished graduate school at Baylor and began looking towards Florida State, he left the group. Darden, though, was to begin another type of evangelism. At Florida State, he began evangelizing on the positive aspects of nutrition and bodybuilding. He has written 30 articles that have been published or are pending, and has 3 books coming out on the 2 subjects. There are many misconceptions on bodybuilding, training, and nutrition, said Darden. People still think of weightlifters as obese types who simply lift as much as possible. Most, though, began lifting out of a sense of inferiority, looking for self-confidence. Bodybuilding becomes a personal thing, helping one develop physically and mentally. Darden continued explaining his views on athletic training. Many athletes, he said, are overtrained. They don't use training aids and confuse the quality of practice with quantity. I found that muscles respond best to every other day training. This intensive exercise is the key to progressive physical development. Muscles need time off in order to recuperate. Darden also feels that people with the health food syndrome are simply being taken. All the pills and health foods that are on the market are no better than the foods you buy at the supermarket, he said. People have been convinced that health foods are a magic formula that will add years to their lives. Darden's opinion is based on tests conducted on himself. He too was once a health food faddist. Following the completion of his PhD work at Florida State, Darden will seek a position that allows him to teach and continue his research. Perhaps in the future I'll be able to evangelize, so to speak, to laymen and scientists on a national scale, said Darden, working to bridge the gap between nutrition and physical education. Author's note: Dear Wag, enclosed you will find several photos of me. Perhaps you can use them in pique, as I recently won the 1972 Collegiate Mr. America contest. Are you still planning on using some excerpts from my article on excessive dietary protein intakes? Drop me a card. Sincerely, Ellington Darden, Tallahassee, Florida 32301.